Of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we hope that you watch over this board as we make decisions for this great city of Barling. Be with everybody in this great city during this time of Thanksgiving. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. All righty, let's have a roll call.
Aaron Rowe. John Manus.
Here.
James Davis.
Here.
Savannah Robinson.
Here.
Ken Colley.
Here.
Bill Young. Ron Sharon.
Here.
All righty. Welcome, everybody. Have y'all been able to look at the minutes from November the 12th? And if there's no objection, we'd like a motion to approve those minutes as written.
I'd like to make that motion.
Got a motion? Do I have a second? Got a second by John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same. All right, motion carries. Does anybody from the public like to come up and speak or anything? Any agenda items? No? All right, moving right along. Unfinished business, consideration of payment to Siddons Martin Emergency Group for fire truck repairs. Mr. Steve?
You'll see the memo about a $24,359.67 total repair. And this thing, if you look at the itemized, there is a pump transmission, pump repairs additional, preventive maintenance. You look at the next one down, you'll see the pump panel, RPM gauge, the discharge valve, and the rear gauge. And this truck is a 96?
I believe so. It's
96, yeah. And if you look at one there, the transfer case for rebuild is one that gobbled up the money. And then the total price on this is the $24,000. I recommend payment. You gotta have the fire truck. You don't have a lot of choice. And when you get one beyond, this is 28 years. When you get one beyond this deal, you're probably gonna be looking at repairs that are worse. And the biggest problem is that beyond about 25 years, 26, somewhere along in there, parts aren't made. And whatever they come out of the boneyard if you can find it. But this will probably be the last gas for this truck and the last repairs. And I'd recommend approval. And since we've got the thing back, and we've got one down right now, so out of 3 trucks, we have 2 that are mobile.
All right, can we get a motion for payment for $24,359.67?
I'll make a motion that we pay for the work done on the fire truck at $24,359.67.
All right, got a motion?
Second it.
And Ron seconds, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same. All right, motion carries. All righty, there's one of them.
I tell ya.
It's back up.
Tone.
All right, next one up, consideration of ordinance 515 to change the regular meeting schedule of the Board of Directors for December 2024.
You'll find ordinance 515 changing it to the 17th because simply the next one is the 24th and nobody wanted to be here Christmas Eve. Everybody had somewhere to be. And this will, ordinance 515 will implement this change, and I'd recommend approval. And we will be meeting on the 10th and the 17th of December.
All right. All right, ordinance, do we want to read that or the title?
The title is an ordinance changing regular meeting schedule of the Board of Directors for 2024. If anybody has an objection, we'd please like to have it. We can read the ordinance in full, but it is two sections.
All right, can I get a motion to place it on the first reading?
I'll make the motion to place it on the first reading.
All right, got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Aaron Rowe, John Manus,
Yes.
James Davis.
Yes.
Savannah Robinson,
Yes.
Ken Collie,
Yes.
Bill Young, Ron Sharum,
Yes.
All righty, ordinance number 515, ordinance changing regular meeting schedule of the Board of Directors for December 2024. Be it ordained and enacted by the Board of Directors of the City of Barling, Arkansas as follows. Section 1, the Board of Directors desire to change the regular meeting scheduled for the December 24th, 2024 to December 17th, 2024 in order to have a quorum of the members of the Board of Directors due to the holidays. Section 2, these changes in the meeting times and dates are necessary in order to conduct the business of the City of Barling, and therefore an emergency is hereby declared to exist such that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, passed and approved this 26th day of November 2024. Mayor Greg Murray attested to Maureen Brown, City Clerk. Can I get a motion to suspend the rules for requiring that it be read in 3 separate occasions?
Make that motion, we suspend the reading of the ordinance 3 times.
I have a second.
Second.
Second. All right, roll call vote.
Aaron Rowe, John Manus,
Yes.
James Davis.
Yes.
Savannah Robinson,
Yes.
Ken Collie,
Yes.
Bill Young, Ron Sharum,
Yes.
All right, if there's no discussion about it, can I get a motion to approve the ordinance?
Make the motion to approve the ordinance as read.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, well, we're gonna do it the easy way tonight. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. All right, it is unanimous. All right, and then can I get a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a second. All right. All those in favor to adopt the emergency clause, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. And so we have our meeting dates scheduled. All right. New business, discussion of capital requests for the 2025 budget.
You have there to start with, so we'll know kind of where the capitals are gonna be. There is the COLA comparisons that were asked for last time. And you'll see the COLA comparisons are at 3%, 4%, and 5%. These are the current salaries that you see on the left-hand column, 3%, 4%, 5%. On the right-hand columns going across. If you look at the revenues and expenditures, the bottom line, when you look at each of the functions, whether this is the street fund or it's the general fund or the water fund, you can look at those and tell what margins we have based on that. Your pleasures are up to you all about it takes for continued employment and retention. And the current, Megan is here, the current escalation is how much? The percentage?
As far as like the CPI?
Yeah.
2.5.
How many?
2.5.
2.5? Okay.
With Social Security.
And this is just a discussion tonight, right? We don't have to take any action until,
Oh, I need to know what percentage.
Oh,
I need to
yeah.
follow up from
Okay.
last time. I need to know what percentage to move forward with, because next time, in theory, will be the final presentation. So I just need to, we don't have to vote necessarily.
You just need an ideal.
Yeah.
We need to know because we can construct it. That'll well tell where the rest of the budget goes.
So if anybody has any.
Well, my question is the same, or deal, same as it was last time. You know, we're gonna have to hire new people at some point, and we need to save some money to do that.
Mhm.
So,
I did 3, 4, and 5 instead of 4, 5, and 6 after I feel and spoken, about 3.5, but then he's not here today, so.
I mean, me, I think I'd go with 4% probably.
I'll have to agree with him
And that's
on
not
that.
saying anything about the employers. I'm just trying to save money to hire people.
No,
So
no,
four-
I mean, 4% is a very generous, it's a generous raise. We've had good raises the last 2 years, good cost of livings.
I think that's a good idea, 4%. That's basically cost the city about $200 more a day at 4%. So I think that's very reasonable, and we need to give everybody that kind of raise.
No, we're not, we're kind of cutting back on our merit raises. I mean, we're not doing these and merit raises too, are we?
No, the only ones we're leveling up are the ones that from this year that didn't get anything.
Okay.
That's,
Mayor, would you like me to just make a motion to accept the 4% and we get that out of the way?
Well, it'd be she just needs to know kind of what direction to go in, and then the next meetings when we would finalize it. So she'll put it in as 4%, and then that way,
That'll work.
yeah, we'll just do it like that.
And then next is going to be the capital request. I provided everyone's capital request in that first packet. The second one, I have attached the budgets with those that are affected by the capital request, and any of them that I changed from the last meeting. So administration, in the general fund administration, does not have any this year. The police department has a new drainer, and then upfitting that drainer. The total of that's 52.7, and then the park, new benches for the park is all I have in general fund.
We need to buy them from Ace. I'm serious.
That's on the building side.
we have an account there.
Okay.
The water fund that you wanna talk about, the capital and the water funds, and we have a new truck.
We need, I would like a new water truck. It's a 2016. It's had several repairs, not major, but they're on the road a lot. And then to upfit that truck is 13,000. And then the chopper pump, we just carry over, cause we haven't finished it this year.
Yeah, the job wasn't completed, so we would move that over to next year. And then, street improvement, still hopefully this year, we'll finalize the sidewalk, I hope, down Fort Street. We're gonna move that to another year. And then in the actual street fund, they need a new camera system that you can actually see things on it. We're expanding some areas. We've had to expand to the back lot to where we park some of our stuff, and nothing is recorded right now, so we're getting new cameras for that, and then a new zero-turn mower. And you all can just discuss and ask questions, and let me know what you want to do with capital.
How much was that camera system gonna cost? 6,000 for the camera system?
Came in lower than I thought, like. It's the same person who did the part.
Okay, they did the part, okay.
A couple of things I'll comment on. One, we have found one so far used vehicle that we talked about for the police in Durango. Let me say that the amount of money they asked, Megan and I talked about this, and it is almost, for the used one, almost half the price of the basic vehicle off the state contract. And if you'll look in here, you'll see that these prices are the state contract prices. They are hooked in your packets, and that's the colored yellow striped and whatever that tells what's there. So my comment was, we have money in Brian's recovery, our asset fund, rather, my first thought was, okay, we clean the asset fund out. How much would it take to go ahead and just buy both new vehicles? And I've thought about this more than once, and it's something to think about, because you're done. Otherwise, you're paying half the price, literally,
For a used one.
for a used one, okay? And so this is something that, for consideration, that everybody needs to think about, because you're gonna be starting with a new one, and if it's right, depending on whether or not you have to have a cage or whatever you have to have in there, we're still gonna be ahead, I believe, by going and bringing two off the roster. It's worth the thought process to see what it would take to do it.
I don't
And
believe
what-
asset forfeiture has quite enough to buy the full new car.
They couldn't,
It's
but how
close.
much would it take to supplement it to get it there?
Probably about, I think they're at 32,000, so about $10,000.
About 10?
But asset forfeiture money is gonna continue to come in. Right.
Yes, it should just continue to come in.
What-
I think there's an auction, should be coming up soon, haven't had one in a while, so.
What should we get out of the old ones?
The last one, we got, yeah, 2,500
Somebody.
out of it. I don't know which one, it would be one of the Chargers that would be replacing, so it wouldn't go as much.
So it just should be just
They go to
as good,
auction,
just keep
and they
it-
don't bring very much.
Just if it runs halfway decent, keep it for backup, yeah, rather than get, okay.
Yeah.
I think we ought to buy two.
You think?
I think so too.
Just, if we wait a year, prices are gonna go up, and we're back, I'd recommend that we buy two. It's not like that's something we're not gonna use.
No. I agree, actually, state bid price was really good this year. I was surprised.
There's a lot of vehicles out there, new ones.
And are you all good with the capital in street and water funds? As far as the new truck and water?
If you water my yard. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I hadn't thought about that, yeah, man.
There is something that I will tell you on the street fund. We've got the skid steer that we've been using, and you can get an attachment for it, which is less money. It's within my spending authority, and it's about $7,000 to get a broom sweeper to mount on that thing, and then we can get the leaves and stuff out of the gutters and clean the dirt off the roads and have it. And this is an answer to the stormwater thing. We've turned in a request 2 times since I've been here, and we've not got anything out of the state. The ADEQ, they're big on stormwater, but ponying up money and grant money to go buy a sweeper is something prohibited. And we know that a full-fledged sweeper we got the last time was $120,000 or something like that.
It was quite a bit of money.
Yeah, and we could sweep the whole county for that amount of money, but anyhow, that's kind of here and there. But that's among the big things. The chopper pump is, 'cause we're out of the business of the belt grill down there, and we get that in. The biggest thing I think is what the fittings that they have to make for tying the end zone.
Because it doesn't go exactly, so they have to special fabricate that fitting.
The other stuff is, there's not anything, and the benches, and the park stuff is, there's not much money in the park, but it's supported out of the general fund, and, the benches to go, the new pavilions, here,
It's up,
there,
yeah.
up,
Yeah, it's up.
and, the other thing, we have a source for fertilizer to put on the bare spots down there, and we can take care of that.
Oh, I just noticed on the street fund, the capital is only gonna be about 17,000, not 23. That's, well, our estimate was 12,000, and then we got the finalized quote for 6,200, so,
But this is about as concise a budget as we've had. The biggest thing is we've got to know where we're going with the 4% for the cost of living. We know what items you need. Now, I will tell you that the other thing that comes out of general fund is the design money for the fire station. We have the preliminary work done. We need to go ahead and finish the design. Greg and I met with our folks from our congressional area and our Senate, and we asked for funding or support for two things: fire station and a water tower. And that's the two items that we told them that we need and we know we're gonna need into the future. I will tell you that we went to the trust meeting the other day, and we are on for 20% of the not to exceed price on the water master design contract. That'll fill a square for us that you have to have every 5 years. You have to have a survey of your town and whatever you need, so we'll have one. And hopefully we'll get that out of the way. So that's the two things that money is operational money, and we got to get the design done and get ready to go in case they do come up with the money for that station. We want to be the first ones through the door with the bid package. We need it because what you need is before you walk, you got to have shelter for these vehicles. You can't leave a vehicle like that out in the middle of nowhere. It's got to be taken care of. And the same thing is into the future. Whatever you have, you got to have it enough. The day that you have a ladder truck, you sure can't leave that thing sitting outside. It's built to be out there when you got a fire, but it's not to be quartered outside. There's just no other way around it.
All right, does anybody have any other questions for Megan?
Thank you.
Thank you
You'll,
much.
I will have the final, how far they know those members and have the final budget at the next meeting.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Consideration of ordinance 516 requiring a license fee for businesses in the city of Barling and repealing and replacing ordinance 450. I believe what we're wanting to do is the current business licenses are $35 a year, and we definitely are going to be needing an increase, so we're wanting to increase those to $100 per year. And that'd be competitive with Fort Smith and the other surrounding areas. And that's the only two changes in the ordinance itself, is that right?
Yeah. We have not had a revision in multiple years. And this, basically, it equalizes everyone around and us. That's the same thing. There's nothing new other than the dollar amount.
All right. Can I get a motion to place this on its first reading?
Is that ordinance 517?
516?
516?
Yes.
Okay. Motion that we consider ordinance 516 on first reading.
All right, got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same. All right. Ordinance number 516, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 450, requiring a license fee for, excuse me, for businesses in the city of Barling, Arkansas, raising the license fee from $35 to $100, declaring an emergency, and for other related purposes. All right, here we go. Be it ordained and enacted by the Board of Directors, the City of Barling, Arkansas, that Section 1 Business Privilege License pursuant to authority vested in the City of Barling by the ACA 26-77-101, it is hereby declared a special privilege subject to an annual fee and compliance with all ordinances of the City of Barling and the State of Arkansas to engage in, carry on, or follow any trade, business, profession, vocation, or calling within the corporate limits of the City of Barling, Arkansas. Each such trade, business, profession, vocation, or calling shall be required to obtain a business privilege license. Section 2, definitions. The term business is used herein shall mean by any trade, business, profession, vocation, or calling as described in ACA 26-77-102. The term license year shall mean the calendar year in which the license is required. Section 3, fees and penalties. The fee levied hereunder shall be due and payable at the office of the city clerk on or before the first day of February of each year, license year. This city clerk shall collect fees and penalties under the following schedule. A fee of $100 shall be paid when payment is received on or before January 31st of the license year. B, a fee of $100 and a penalty fee of $150 or of $15. A penalty of $15 shall be paid when payment is received on or after February 1st of the license year. That other have been good, but Section 4, 2 or more locations. No business shall be subject to more than one fee hereunder during any license year for the conduct of the same trade, vocation, business, or profession in more than one location within the city. Section 5, posting of license. The business privilege license shall be posted in a visible and conspicuous place where such trade, business, occupation, profession, vocation, or calling is carried on, and the holder of such license shall exhibit such same to any agent or official of the city of Barling. Section 6, acquisition of license. All new businesses required to obtain a license under this ordinance shall be required to do so within 45 days of the opening and operation of said business within the city of Barling. Section 7, penalty for violation. On or after February 1st of the license year, the city clerk shall advise the police department of the known violators of this ordinance. Failure to obtain the required business privilege license after February 14th of the license year shall be deemed an unclassified misdemeanor. Violators of any provision of this ordinance shall, upon conviction, be subject to court costs and a fine of not less than $25 and not more than $100, with each day of violation constituting a separate offense. Section 8, severability. Any word, section, or part of this section or provisions of a section of provision of this chapter, if held unconstitutional, void, or invalid, shall not affect the validity or any other word, section, provision hereof, which is itself not void or invalid. Section 9, emergency clause. The enactment of this ordinance ensures the immediate protection of health, safety, and welfare of the properties and citizens of the city of Barling, Arkansas. Such an emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force in effect from and after its passage. Passed and approved this 26th day of November, 2024. Greg Murray, Mayor. Florine Brown, City Clerk. Can we get a motion to suspend the rules requiring that we read that 3 times?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Thank you for the ayes. All right, any discussion on the ordinance or anything? It's pretty self-explanatory.
I don't have any question on the ordinance necessarily, but I do have a question.
Yes.
Do we require the people that do all the yard work and stuff to get a license?
No, we don't.
Okay. I don't care, I'm just curious.
James, the only ones that get a license are the people that are commercial contractors that come out you'll find them whacking down trees, and those are the folks that are licensed.
All right, any other discussion? Can we have a motion to approve the ordinance?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve? Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, James seconds. Roll call vote.
John Manus,
Yes.
James Davis.
Yes.
Savannah Robinson,
Yes.
Ken Collie,
Yes.
Ron Sharon.
Yes.
All right, and can we get a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
Make a motion, we adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by nay. All right, motion carries. Yeah. All right, moving right along, consideration of ordinance 517 establishing regulations regarding signage in the city of Barling and repealing and replacing ordinance 415.
Please find attached ordinance 517, repealing and replacing ordinance 415 and amending section 23, subparagraph 8D of ordinance 440 regarding signage in the city of Barling. Currently, the signage fees are $25 per year for portable signs. There is a need to increase these fees to $50 per year to be competitive with other cities in the area. If a business has a permanent sign, the fee will be collected one time. If the businesses use a portable sign, the fee will be collected yearly when business licenses are renewed. Ordinance 516 will implement these changes and recommend approval.
All right, can I get a motion to place it on its first reading?
I'll make that motion.
All right, do I have a second?
Second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, all opposed by nay. All right, the ayes have it.
First reading. An ordinance of the city of Barling, Arkansas, amending ordinance 440 and repealing and replacing ordinance 415 and establishing regulations regarding signage in the city of Barling, Arkansas. Whereas the city of Barling, Arkansas, by and through its planning commission and board of directors, has implemented ordinance 440 to serve as its comprehensive zoning ordinance. And whereas the board of directors of the city of Barling has determined there is a need to update and increase fees for signage in the city of Barling, Arkansas. And whereas it is the desire of the board of directors for the city of Barling, Arkansas to amend section 23, sub 8, paragraph D of ordinance 440. Be it ordained and enacted by the Board of Directors of the City of Barling, Arkansas, that, Section 1, the yearly fee for signage will increase from $35 to $50. Section 2, this ordinance being necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and welfare, an emergency is hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its publication and passing. Passed and approved this 26th day of November 2024. Greg Murray, the mayor. Florine Brown, city clerk.
All right, can I get a motion to suspend the rules requiring that it be read in 3 separate occasions?
Make a motion that we suspend the rules for the reading of 3 times.
All right,
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, it has. All right, any discussion on the ordinance? If not, we'd like a motion to approve the ordinance.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 517.
All right, got a motion for ordinance 517. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, got a second. Roll call vote.
John Manus,
Yes.
James Davis.
Yes.
Savannah Robinson,
Yes.
Ken Collie, Ron Sharon.
Yes.
All right, and can I get a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
Make a motion to accept the emergency.
All right, got a motion.
Emergency clause.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right. Ordinance passes, and emergency clause passes. All right. On to department head reports. Mr. Joe, you're up.
All right, I'll be short and sweet. During the month of October, we've been mainly consumed with animal calls. Just one out of the ordinary. We did we had a vicious, which that will be, tied up in court. So we are required to hold those dogs. So we are holding those dogs pending that, or pending the hearing. So that's really all I've got.
All right, any questions for Joe? Matt?
Citywide cleanup went well. I think we got rid of 14 dumpsters of trash. I'm not sure on the tonnage, but it was quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Any questions for Matt, anybody? Moving right along, Mr. Tommy?
For the month of October, we had 13 fires, 65 medical calls, and 15 public service calls for a total of 93 runs. Average response time was 2 minutes, 22 seconds. We made 3 calls at the same time, one time, for a total of 3 runs. That's all I've got.
Is the burn ban off yet or
It
not?
is.
It is off?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you.
All right, any questions for Tommy? No? Chief, you're up.
One thing we've got going, we're participating in the Click It a Ticket campaign that started yesterday. That'll go through December the 1st, so you'll see an uptick in traffic control. Other than that, everything's business as usual.
How far do we patrol east of town, down 22?
Central City.
Central City, okay, thank you.
Been seeing a lot more accidents over on 59 just a little bit. Are we gonna patrol that just a little bit
Right.
more?
We're gonna,
I think there's been like, what, 2 or 3 in the last couple of weeks over there?
yeah, there's been an uptick in accidents for some reason. I guess it's just that time of the year and there's more
More traffic?
traffic.
Is it 8th Street and 59, or?
Yeah, once here lately it's been 59 mainly, but
I think the other two's been close to the, was it Spring Hill Park exit or something there? Right around in that area is where a couple of them happened.
Just someone pulled out in front of someone coming down, or?
We had the, what,
one bad one was the head-on. I showed Administrator Core the video on that. And I just come head-on, across the lane into an 18-wheeler. So we had to call air evac in for.
all right, everybody be safe on 59. All right, let's move along. The city administrator report. Steve, you're up.
Well, y'all heard the comments about the fire. We'll start the design, kick it back in gear on the fire station. The other thing, I will tell you, if you've not been down on Chad Colley and the new Frontier Road, the traffic signals are hung, but they're not active yet. I was been contacted by a couple of the engineers, and they're going to add on to the Mercy Clinic that's down there on the left. The other thing is on the southeast corner of that intersection, they've cleared underneath, and there is a major project coming. We don't know who it is, but we know that they've already scouted out the utilities and the sewer and the water. The other thing, if you've seen, it looks like it'll probably be, according to the briefing we had from Wapatiti at the meeting and Frontier MPO, the transportation folks, it looks like it'll be along in the spring before they get everything ready to go down on Frontier Road. They've got, some looks like they may be trying to funnel traffic down the middle. The next thing that happened is we've heard from Fort Smith. One of their engineers has contacted the folks, and he wants to talk there, talking about the water line that'll be tied around to the distribution center they have out off of Mazard Road. And of course, they've got to get across 22 Highway and a few other things. We have also seen the, Joe went to the pre-construction, and while I was at the Medicine Man, they had a complete checklist of every agency that's involved in I-549 going across that bottom out there. And I have a copy of the checklist on my desk, and they did not fail to cover anything. There is. If you had a squirrel crossing the road, there's somebody will know about it down there. That's how detailed that list was. And basically, that is where it is. We're waiting on the folks down there at Little Rock to send us the go-ahead letter on our sidewalk project. Megan has, you can see where the money is set aside for the sidewalk project. I've not heard back from the railroad. I sent them the message, but it took them 10 years to act for us to get the road. And I don't hope it won't take 10 years to get the deed to it, where we can work on Frank Street over there. But we did get Frank Street. They did bless it, and I sent them a message, told them we'd send them the check. Just send me the invoice. We'd be glad to have the road. And that's it.
All righty. Any announcements? I know we've got Friday, is that right? Friday is the last day to get your registration in for the Christmas parade. So if anybody'd like to be a part of our Christmas parade, Friday is the deadline. please call down here to City Hall, talk to Brooklyn, and she'll get you set up for that, and I'm looking forward to that. That ought to be really interesting. Any other announcements, anybody? No? All right, anybody from the public like to talk about anything? Come on, John, you gotta say something. Nope. All right, Mr. Ron, if you would do the
I'd
honors.
like to make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn, do I have a second? Someone
Nobody
get-
wants to leave.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned, folks. Have a blessed and happy Thanksgiving.
I'm just gonna make Megan stay here.